lottery in Cuba, and the lottery in Cuba is real simple. It's no money. You win freedom. So to be able to be born in the United States in 1981, which was right after the Mariel boat lift, this was all injected into me. What? Take advantage of this opportunity to be in this country. Take advantage of the fact that you control your own destiny. Take advantage of the fact that you can be whatever you want to be in this country. And take advantage of the fact that you have freedom. So when those things were injected into me, every morning they spoke about the story and what went on and why I'm so blessed to be in the United States of America. Growing up in Miami at a time that it was economically probably the most powerful city in the United States of America, but not because it was legally done that way, because it was the cocaine capital. So while I'm watching everything move, I'm watching entrepreneurs. I'm watching guys make something out of nothing because they're moving a product. They're finding new ways to get it there. So what did I take? I take that drive, that hustle, that fighter, everything that I'm watching in the streets while I'm growing up, and I go, wait a second, how do we put this together? And that was music. Music is a product, and I have to find ways on how to move it, right? Well, my mother growing up had every job known to man, worked, me personally, I went to probably about 25 different schools, lived in good neighborhoods, bad neighborhoods, worse neighborhoods. But my mother sold water. I was right there with her knocking on doors. My mother sold cable. I was right there knocking on doors with her. She sold Avon. I was right there knocking on doors with her. Amway. I mean, you name it. She did it. I was there with her when she would do telemarketing, and I seen how she would pick up the phone, and I started working in telemarketing, picking up phones, and I learned that I think that not only to be an entrepreneur is thinking outside the box. That I agree with 150%, but I also think it's all about an approach. And not only an approach physically, an approach mentally. Because if you're chasing money, it runs. All right? If you're making money, it's different. All right? So for people that are entrepreneurs, there's no cut in the corner. There's no magic bullet. There's no cheat sheet. It's really simple, as complex as it may sound. Hard work. Work hard. Believe in yourself. They tell me all the time, Chico, that's another name that I got, by the way. They say, Chico, you're so lucky, Chico. I said, man, you know what's funny? Harder I work, luckier I get. It's really that simple. And people think that there's something genius to the things that we do. And it's not, because look, in the music business, it's just that. Music business. And it's a business where half of them don't know music and half of them don't know business. Have no business. In music. What is this? I'm confused, right? Well, guess what we have to constantly do? Fight. Because it's 90% business, 10% talent. And I'm far from talented. But I'll outwork you. I'll out-hustle you. And I have a lion's heart. You know? And when I say I mean we, I mean us. Because there's no way I do this by myself. We have an amazing team that understands the vision. Which there's a saying in Spanish is, paso corto y larga. Which is short steps, long vision. And I think everybody now, we're living in a society that's filled with instant gratification. Instant gratification. But if they only knew, the more you want things faster, okay, and they come fast, because we used to say it about drug money in the streets. What comes quick leaves quicker. Because it's easy money. You don't appreciate it. You don't understand it. So to me, it's not about building a business and making all this money. Yes, don't get me wrong. There's no hidden agenda here, guys. We all want to generate. I get that part. But, man, the priceless part is the journey. The priceless part is all the no's you ran into, all the failures that happen, all the slip-ups, all the times you got knocked down. That is the fun part of the story. That's why when you get in a circle of people and you're talking to them about success and you're talking to them about what it's really like, they respect you and they love to be around you because you admit what it took to get there. You know, and that to me is a true entrepreneur, a true fighter, someone that goes, you knock me down, but wait till I get back up. Oh, it's going to be so much fun, you know. And those are the things that I look forward to. And there's little things that I tell people all the time in success, right? It's like making a record. It's not just making it, it's about maintaining it, right? So to me, you have levels of success. You succeed, that's making it. Success is maintaining it. When you understand those two, then you are successful. Right? But people don't break down words. Me, I live in a life of constantly playing with words, you know, and finding double meanings to them, and how to make something so simple but yet so genius. Well, if you break down the word success, it's telling you everything. When you get to a certain level of success, you're giving people access to suck in excess. That's what success becomes. As an artist, you have a manager sucking. You have the label sucking, agent sucking, taxes sucking. Then comes friends, family, everybody, one way or another, hitting you, hitting you. When you finally realize that that is a part of success, then you can become successful. It no longer bothers you. Now it's like, okay, I get it. I see one. Lawsuits. I mean, lawsuits to me are a great thing. I get hit with a lawsuit, I say, oh man, we're doing something amazing. Someone's paying attention. The bigger the company, the better we're doing. That's the way I look at it. But that's my outlook on it. So as an entrepreneur and everybody out there is trying to create something, invent something, and be innovative, just know that it comes with valleys, peaks, ups, downs, speed bumps. I mean, you name it. That's the priceless part of being an entrepreneur. I think it's the story and the journey.
Most of the audience that's watching this and is going to be seeing you in November, these people are in the network marketing business. Mm-hmm. They're selling products and services. They're building teams of other people doing the same thing. They're building it out of their home. And this is not a traditional path. You know, most people are raised to get an education, get a job, work for the man. And these people want to go a different route. You know, first of all, what do you think about a person making that choice to be in business for themselves, to be in network marketing, and what advice do you have for them, maybe when they face resistance from their friends, family, you know, people that don't understand what they're doing?
Look, I think Nike being one of the biggest companies in the world, they have the best slogan: just do it. You know? And we were in one of the neighborhoods I lived in Miami. It's a neighborhood called Wynwood. They would always say, don't talk about it, be about it. When people don't believe in what you got going on, they just did you a favor. You don't need them in your circle. And sometimes, you know, said God had a saying, and he said, I gave you friends to apologize for your family. Okay? Because sometimes our inner circle are the first ones bringing us down. And I use this analogy all the time. I said, it's crazy, because when you're a baby and you go to get up and you go to walk, what's the first thing everybody does? Oh my God, look! Oh, look at Jimmy's walking! Boom, Jimmy falls. They go, get back up, come on. Hey, everybody, come see this. And everybody's like, yeah. You know why Jimmy walks? Because everybody's motivating him to walk. Well, it's the total opposite as you become an adult. You try to become a lawyer, a doctor, or anything you want to do, open a business. Everybody's, oh, that's not going to work. Why are you even thinking like that? Why are you even know? You should just go get a 9 to 5. You just did me a favor. Thank you. I appreciate you. You just motivated me. And as in this journey, as you take it, you start to find people that understand your vision. And you motivate them, they motivate you, and that's where you really become a team, and you start to execute and start to bring things to life. Now, mind you, here's the fun part. That as these things come to life, those same people that told you you weren't going to make it, you weren't going to do it, you're crazy, are the same people telling you, hey, man, great idea. Hey, Pitt, can I get some tickets to the concert? You know what? Absolutely, Babo. And I'm going to put you in the best seats.
One of your secrets to success, I know, you're a very humble guy, which is surprising to me for a superstar.
Oh, thank you.
But you're talking about 10% talent. I think your fans and most people in the world would disagree with that. But you talk about one of your secrets to success being hard work. What's another thing that kind of separates you as an entrepreneur, as an artist, from people that maybe aren't as successful as you? What's your secret sauce when it comes to what causes you to excel?
Well, I love new challenges. I love the fight. You know, and what I mean by fighting is not that I'm going out there looking for, you know, a battle to be a part of. No, but if we come up with an idea and we feel that it's great and we feel that it can make a change one way or another, we fight for it. And that to me, since I've seen it happen over and over again, I'm going through it right now. On this album right now, Climate Change. We've done business with this label now. We've been partners with them for close to 10 years. Okay? Giving them endless amount of hits. And sometimes you get caught up in the business. Good thing is that we always invest into ourselves. That's another thing that I tell entrepreneurs. Always invest into yourself. Always invest into who's going to be a person that's going to help you grow to the next level, or whatever product it may be, or however it may be. Always invest into yourself. Best investment you can make. And you know, I feel that on this project, they kind of, they let it out to hang and dry, let's just say. But it doesn't bother us. Why? Because we've invested into ourselves so much throughout the years that it's all about just staying relevant. It doesn't bother me what numbers look like or they don't look like, because these guys are constantly trying to flip and manipulate the metrics of the music business now, because they don't even know the business. So one week it'll tell you, oh, to get a #1, you need X amount of views on YouTube. But to get a #1 now, you got to be this on Spotify. To get a #1 now, you got to do this. Hey, but every other week you guys are changing the metrics. So that just shows me you guys really don't know what you're talking about. So as long as you stay relevant, let's say in my business, you're able to do that because you've built a platform that allows us to fight, that allows us to take on new challenges, that allows us to think out the box, that allows us to have that entrepreneurship spirit.
You think it's adaptability?
Well,
the ability to kind of move with whatever happens, and it doesn't matter what anybody else does?
To be able to adapt to any environment, yes. And I grew up like that. I grew up in so many different neighborhoods that it's never been a problem for us to pivot. And just, because it's really just a tweak when you think about it, right? But for people out there, yes, it's hard, and you wouldn't want anything that's easy, I would say, right? But as long as you're having fun, and the people around you, you're happy around them, there's no tension, there's no crabs in a bucket effect, that's what makes it so fun. The journey, priceless. I'll continue to say that, because that's really what it's about. You know, right now, as far as ourselves, we have an amazing team, an amazing infrastructure. We're a one-stop shop. We do everything pretty much for ourselves, and that's what makes this so much fun, and what we get a chance to do, whether it's in music, whether it's in businesses that we're involved with, and partners that we're involved in, from every, I would say, spectrum of business, or whether it's in education.
Can I ask you about that?
Absolutely.
You started some charter schools called SLAM.
Correct.
And there's one here in Las Vegas. What does SLAM stand for?
SLAM stands for Sports Leadership, Arts, and Management.
And what was your vision behind formulating these charter schools?
Well, the system failed me. You know, I grew up going to public schools. Like I said, I was on tour before I went on tour on music in schools. So being that I went to so many different schools in so many different areas, and seeing that it's more of a system that's built to fail instead of to pass. I'll give you an example. If I got a straight A on a test, I wouldn't get 2 A's. But if I showed up late to class, I'd get 4 F's. It's like, whoa, wait a second. This is... the balance is off here. So my mother, which is the person that really educated me, my mother was the one that would sit me down and just talk to me about things and allow my mind to think. She said, no one is dumb and no one is stupid. You just have to figure out on how you learn. So me personally, I can read, but by the 3rd page, I'm going, what did I read on the 1st page? That's just how my mind works. But I'm good at hands-on learning, listening, watching, let's say documentaries, love things like that. So when I spoke to my partner in this, which he's the biggest charter school provider in the United States of America, and his schools produce, which every year they're top 5, either in the United States of America or top 2 in Florida, okay? I told him, man, we should do something for the kids that excites them, that they're engaged in. So what better than sports? And the beautiful thing about sports is it teaches discipline. It teaches teamwork. It teaches the harder you work, the better you get. It teaches punctuality. It teaches accountability, where, you know, when you're a team, if you do something wrong, the whole team has to pay for it. And that in turn, you know, makes you make sure that you produce for your team, you know? So we took curriculum and we did something entrepreneurial. You know what we did? We flipped it. Just a tweak. We pivoted. So we used the same curriculum, okay? Now we just apply it to sports. Algebra. X is the 40-yard line. Y is they need 6 points. And Z is they got 10 seconds. How do we do this? Now the kids are engaged. Me, I didn't graduate from high school. My My principal didn't even want me there. I had bounced around so many schools. He literally gave me my diploma. He said, I don't want you here. Literally gave me my diploma. A year later, I seen him handcuffed walking out of the high school on the news for doing that to kids, you know. You think he was doing me a favor, but really you're already showing me that nobody believes in me at this point. Ironically, from that same high school, there was a teacher. There's only been 2 teachers in my life that have made impact, and that's why I believe in education, okay? Her name is Hope Martinez, and she's the one that gave me an invitation to a video shoot that changed my life, that I was able to rap in, and someone see the talent, because she's seen the talent, okay, like we were talking about earlier. And to me, when I see these kids who I don't even have to speak to, I can just look in their eyes and go, I understand your story. You probably got a couple parents that are either came over to this country looking for you and a better opportunity. You may have siblings that are in prison. You may have siblings that are either in the drug trade or sexually abused. I mean, everybody has a story there. But we don't even need to talk about that. Let's talk about where you're going. Mm-hmm. And now we'll be up to 7 slams in the United States. We have 3 in Miami, 1 in West Palm, 1 going up in Tampa, 1 in Nevada. Another one will be going up in Henderson also. And our first school that we graduated from, we graduated at 95% rate, okay? Kids that are 92% of them on free lunch, these kids need it. And all of them are off to major establishments. That to me, priceless.
How cool is that?
You know, no, I mean, that's when people talk about change and they talk about hope and they talk about things that we need to do better for not only this country but the world, you got to start with the young minds. You got to teach them, motivate themselves, inspire themselves, because that's a sponge. There's nothing like a young mind. It's a sponge. It loves to ask questions. It loves to learn before it runs into the world that's going to tell them that they can't do anything that they want to do, that they have to live in the box, right?
Right.
So imagine when you reverse the crabs in a bucket effect, and instead it's a crab that grabs the bucket, leans it over, and lets everybody out and go, okay, now you go that way, you go that way, you go that way. We're going to come back, meet here, and let's see how we help each other grow in anything that we got going on. Yeah. Well, that's what we've done.
I'll tell you what, just I know from me growing up, there was a few people that believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Mm-hmm. Sounds like there was for you too. And I think the biggest gift you're giving these kids is a framework and a constant reminder that somebody believes in them.
Oh man,
you know, somebody out there is caring for them. So what a legacy! About. How cool is that? And I will also tell you, our son plays against. He's 11. He plays against the Slam School. He's from another school in Henderson here in Nevada, and they get destroyed by the Slam School every single time they play them. Those kids they're like on another level.
Yeah, well, that's going to make your son play even better.
Well, no, believe me, he's motivated.
Yeah, he's motivated. But on another note, as far as Slam, yes, it's about sports. But we tell these kids it's not about becoming a pro athlete, because we all know what the margin is on that, let's just say. But it's telling them, hey, but if you love sports, you can be an agent, you can be a broadcaster, you could be an attorney, you could be a physical therapist. There's so many things that revolve around this business that you could still be involved with what you love. Mm-hmm. So these are just ways to tweak their mind and let them know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And what better than to utilize your story? And that's why I always say from a negative to a positive.
Right.
Okay, because statistically, I'm not supposed to be here. Statistically, I'm supposed to be dead or in prison. That's my stats from where I come from. Okay, and these kids come from the same environment. And when you speak to them, you know, sometimes you speak to them in a way where it's sophisticated, you know. And there's other times that I tell the teachers and the administrators, I say, look, you got to give me my time now. And you dig in. And you speak to them the way they speak in the street. You speak to them with words that they know and that are impactful. And they go, oh, man, you know, Armando's not playing around. Pitt's not playing around. And that is really when you make an impact, when they say, he is me and they are me. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fun, man. You got to come to one of the schools.
I can't wait. I'd be honored to. This event, GoPro Recruiting Mastery, in November. There's going to be your friend Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
Is going to be speaking at this event, and you're also going to be speaking at this event as well as some other thought leaders from around the world. We have over 10,000 home business entrepreneurs come from over 100 countries
Well, thank you so
around the
much for
world.
the opportunity to start off there.
Yeah. What can people expect to hear when you come to bring the heat? What are they
Well, I mean,
what can they expect?
Expect the unexpected. You know, you started off by telling me that when you told them, you know, Pitbull's going to come and speak, they're already going, speak? What do you mean speak? That's great. That puts me in a great position. If there's anything I've loved to be in my life, it's an underdog. And more than anything, I'm not going there to speak. I'm going there to learn. I'm going there to teach people that in no way, shape, or form is there any perfection to what we do. It's the imperfection that allows us to do things that look perfect, but they're not. And to entrepreneurs, one of my favorite lines, which I made this one up. I tell the team all the time, I say, we have a plan. It never plans out. Ironically, it plans out. If I told you stories of each song that we've been involved with and the path that it took us from people that were supposed to be on it, or lawsuits that came with it, or radio that wasn't going to play it, or label execs that didn't believe in it, I mean, we could write a book on that. But to me, that's the fun part. So when I give you an example. When I go and speak to executives about a record, and they're like, oh, we love this record. I'm like, ooh, we got to throw this record out the window. That was too easy. That was too easy. We need some kind of resistance. Something's going on, you know. But that, I think, is what the people are going to get at, just knowing that the story's real. Not only it being real, it's a constant story. We're still living in it as we speak right now. It's a constant struggle, I would say, a constant fight. And that's the part that I wake up to every day. You know? I love it. I love to open Pandora's box and see what's there and go for it.
Talk about your relationship with Tony Robbins, and you guys have worked on stage together a few times. You're going to be doing that here in November. What's that relationship like?
Well, me and Tony's relationship is the true meaning of law of attraction. When I was in 5th grade, I lived in this neighborhood in Miami called Carol City. Very interesting neighborhood. So when my mom could take me to school, she had it was about 1990, she had an 82 Pinto, you know, all beat up. Miami's hot, so you got to go outside, roll down the windows, make sure that get out that heat, sit down, don't get stuck to the chair. And on the way to school, she'd play Tony Robbins. I wasn't trying to hear Tony Robbins. This guy talking. You know, in 5th grade, growing up with a bunch of hoodlums, you know, it's like, I'm not trying to hear that. I want to hear NWA. I want to hear Two Live Crew. I want to hear something else. So I go to touch the radio one day to change it, and she hits me. Bah! And she said, you pay for this car? I said, nah. She said, don't touch my radio. So obviously I didn't touch the radio again, and I listened to Tony Robbins by default. And Tony Robbins had this one that just subliminally got me. And I was like, man, here we go again. And he had a story about Kentucky Fried Chicken and Colonel Sanders, and how many times he ran into a no, which was about 1,007, I think exactly, but I always rounded off to 1,000. And he sold the recipe, and that's how he started the business. 1,007 no's. It was hard for me to hear one no. And I always thought about that. And that's how Tony Robbins has stayed in our life as far as what I've applied from just that one story and everything that my mom has taught me also into the music business and everything that I've been involved with in life. And it's worked. So it happens to be, I keep talking about Tony Robbins in interviews. I'm like, no, that's Tony Robbins. Someone's like, I run into, he's like, I know Tony. I'll introduce you to him. He introduces me to Tony. Next thing you know, Tony loves the music. We start hanging out. And just to make a long story short, not only do we get on stage with him now, not only are we coming up with ideas and different opportunities together now, I mean, the guy comes to give a speech when they give me the Hollywood Star in Los Angeles. I'm going, wow. Look how it comes full circle when you really put it out there and you believe it and you see it. You know? And I think that's the biggest thing, to go back and just to really back and make it all make sense for the entrepreneurs out there. You got to believe it. You got to believe what you're fighting for. It can't just be a hustle. It can't be a scam. It can't be something that you're just looking to hope and make some money off. You know, like a little petty hustle. You don't want that. Something you believe in, you fight for, and then it starts to work for you. Right. You know, you work hard for it, then it starts to work hard for you.
Well, do me a favor. This has been amazing, and you're very generous with your time.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm so much looking forward to the energy, the intelligence, the excitement, I know the place is going to be electric, like every stadium that you walk into is electric when you walk into the room. But do me a favor. These people in our community, these network marketing professionals and people wishing to be network marketing professionals, it's lonely sometimes, you know, and they're looking for somebody to believe in them like you believe in the kids that are going to your schools. Would you do me a favor, maybe look into that camera over there and just give them a little piece of advice? Just something between now and November when we get together, something that they can hold on to be able to go out there and chase their dream.
I'll give you 3 pieces. There's one I read the other day that Bob Marley has as a quote, which I think is great, and you don't want to end up here. All right? Some people are so poor that all they have is money. So let's make sure that the journey is not just about the money. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, make sure that it's about that fight and you're doing something that, I go back, that you really believe in. Second piece of advice, patience, passion, and perseverance equals success. All right? And the third piece is there's no losing, only learning. There's no failure, only opportunities, and no problems, only solutions. If you can take that and really apply it, I promise you anything that you believe in and that you're fighting for out there will come to life.